Hi, Panina here, and welcome to the Kosher Cupboard, where we have a focus on kosher, keto, and low carb with healthy, fresh ingredients. Now, Chanukah is coming, and I wanted to make a low carb latke. I could use zucchini because that would be very low carb, but it would be zucchini, which is not at all like the traditional potato latkes. So I came up with a recipe for jicama latkes. Now, the jicama latkes look just like potato. They taste mostly like potato. At least if you don't know it's not potato, you would assume that it is. And the good thing about the jicama latkes is they're about half the carbs of a potato latke. So let's make latkes. My husband picked it out. He did a really good job. I hadn't been able to find any good jicama lately. I like them to have a little bit smoother surface than this one, but this was a really good one. So the first thing is cutting up and shredding the jicama. This jicama is an okay jicama. I think it's a very good one. All of them are going to have some brown spots on it for the most part that you're going to need to cut off before you can make the jicama shredding. Okay. And then just cut these to the size, whatever is going to work for your shredder. You can do it by machine, but sometimes it ends up coming out a little bit mushy because it is a little bit softer than potato. So I prefer to do it by hand. If you have a bigger shredder, that probably would make it easier. Now you will need to weigh the jicama to see when you get to a pound. And if you have any leftover jicama, you can just make jicama sticks. They're very good dipped in almond butter or peanut butter, or drizzling them with lemon juice and a little bit of chili powder. Then you'll need to squeeze all the water out because they are very wet. And if you leave them with the water in it, then they will end up boiling instead of frying when you put them in the pan. So squeeze them well. You may actually need to use 2 towels to do this. So what I have here in the bowl is 1 pound of shredded jicama. So the jicama comes like this. They come all different sizes and shapes, really. So make sure that you get one that's large enough, or at least get, 2 or 3 if you need to, so that you have more than a pound. You'll need probably 1.5 pounds, maybe a little bit more than that, because by the time you cut it and peel it and remove any brown spots on it, you want to make sure that you have at least 1 pound of it left. And the next thing I have here is 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So I'm just going to toss that around a little bit. And then this is 1/4 cup of coconut flour. That will make it much more low carb than if you're adding regular flour to it. And then there's 1/2 cup of finely diced yellow onion. The yellow onion comes out sweeter, I think, than the white ones do once it's cooked. And then once that's tossed together, then I have 2 slightly beaten eggs over here that I'm going to take and mix in with the rest of it. Once your mixture is uniform, you're ready to make your latkes. I have a 1/2 cup of olive oil here that I'll be using to fry it in. Halfway through, I'm probably going to need to add some more olive oil just to make sure that I've got enough on the bottom so that it doesn't burn and they all fry and brown nicely. So let's head on over to the stove and we'll get frying. So the oil needs to be hot, but not smoking, so that as soon as it goes in, it's going to sizzle. I have a 1/8 cup here just so I can try and make them all a uniform size. And an 1/8 cup works out to make them fairly small. But you want to make them larger, use a 1/4 cup, a 1/3 cup, whatever you want to make them. Yeah. It's always good when you start off to just cook one in the pan to see exactly how long it's going to take. That first batch, I thought they were a little bit small, so I'm going to make them a little bit larger this time. One casualty, not too bad. Maybe it'll cook back together. So 1 pound of jicama makes about 12 to 14 latkes, depending on size. And they do have about half the carbs of potato latkes, but no one will know that they're not potato. And the only difference in the taste is that the jicama has a slight sweetness to it. Thank you for watching. And if you liked this video, or even if you didn't, hit the like button and please subscribe. If you want to get notifications for future videos, then also hit the bell. The recipe will be in the description below. Have a happy Hanukkah. It tastes